The life of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is a strong witness to the truth of his message. One strong piece of evidence is his deep, simple living, his clear choice to live a simple life, without fancy things or showing off power, even though he could have easily had them. His home was simple, made from mud bricks and palm leaves. His food was often just dates and barley bread, and he went through long times of hunger. He mended his own clothes and helped with chores around the house, showing humility in a practical way. Any riches that came his way were quickly given to the poor and those in need. He taught that real wealth isn't about what you own, but about being content, being good, and having a rich soul. His whole life was a real-world example of the Qur'an's teachings, which proves that his message came from God. When we connect things with thought and reflection, between the basic Islamic rule of no forcing in faith and the deep, proven, and well-known simple life of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, a strong, clear unity appears. This makes the argument even stronger. These two things, different yet working together, give strong proof that supports each other. They clearly show any fair observer that Islam truly comes from God, a pure and true message, and is not something made up by people or for human desires. The freedom given to people to believe or even not to believe based on what they truly feel clearly shows that the religion of Islam is completely confident in its original values and its logical appeal. And it proves without a doubt that Islam doesn't need people to be forced to follow it or submit through worldly power or political tricks or social pressure. It speaks directly to the human mind and heart. Islam fully trusts its own power to convince people who are honest, serious, and open-minded when looking for guidance and truth. This gentle and respectful way, which values free will, personal responsibility, and true belief, is the special sign of a true message from God, and not the method of a human system whose main goal is to control, dominate, or trick others. At the same time, the life of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was amazingly simple, a life completely free from any desire for personal wealth or worldly status or political power. It strongly confirms the absolute purity and honesty of his message. If Islam were just a human-made idea, cleverly put together to gain worldly benefits, build an empire, or satisfy personal desires, its founder would surely have enjoyed the many rewards and perks that come with leadership and power. His constant and consistent refusal of all these chances is truly remarkable and makes you think deeply. The Prophet, peace be upon him, chose instead a life of great hardship every time, devoted service to others, and deep, honest humility. This consistent choice strongly denies any accusation, hint, or doubt that he was driven by personal ambition or the desire for fame or any hidden worldly desires. His entire blessed life was a living, breathing witness to the divine message he brought to mankind. He always pointed his attention and that of his followers to the eternal reward and lasting happiness in the afterlife, instead of the temporary, fleeting, and often misleading gains of this worldly life. These two strong pillars, the firm commitment to complete freedom of belief and the unmatched example of prophetic simple living, support and strengthen the convincing argument for Islam coming from God. A religion that gives such deep freedom in matters of faith clearly doesn't need to be forced with violence or fear. And a messenger tasked with bringing God's final message, living with such amazing simplicity, selflessness, and humility, was clearly not driven by selfish desires or worldly ambitions. Together, these important elements paint a clear, harmonious, and very convincing picture of a faith firmly rooted in absolute truth. A faith that speaks directly to the human mind, our natural moral compass, the fitra, and our individual conscience. It was delivered to humanity by a person whose life was an undeniable example of sincerity, unwavering honesty, deep kindness, and firm devotion to a higher divine calling. In short, Islam doesn't need to be forced on anyone because truth naturally stands tall and shines brightly, and no one can hide or suppress it for long. And as the wise saying goes, truth will prevail. In the end, it wins, clearly and undeniably.